Hello and thanks for joining us today. It's the 29th day of April 2022 and we are at the Wedro Junction by Aba Road for this morning's edition of the Vendor Corner, where we review headlines of our daily newspapers. I'm Obidi Mark, your host, and we'll be going to the table now to see what to have on the papers. Yeah, we have quite a number of papers as usual this morning, ranging from the state papers to the national papers, and as usual we are going to start with the state papers for the review this morning. But I have a guest with me here who is going to be doing the analysis with us alongside other readers who may also want to join us. I have Mr. Cosmos Nwakalamba. Mr. Cosmos Nwakalamba is a member of the All Progressives Grand Alliance in Imo State. He is the zonal chairman of that party. He is going to be analyzing with us this morning. Mr. Cosmos, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's look at the state tabloids. This is we have the News Echo here. We have the News Echo newspaper. It's one of the state tabloids, and it has a screaming headline. It says, NYC wakes up. NYSC wakes up. Impose mass repeat of core members over truancy. NYC wakes up. Imposes mass repeat of core members over truancy. Another caption says that gunmen attack bullion van in Imo as vehicles somersaults. Gunmen attack bullion van in Imo as vehicles somersaults. Anambra Media Summit. Isiguzo warns journalists against fake news. Anambra Media Summit. Isiguzo warns journalists against fake news. Police arrest PDP rep Farah Dagogo on Wike's order. Police arrest PDP rep Farah Dagogo on Wike's order. Gunmen killed 4 of our people in Anambra. Hausa community cries out. Gunmen killed 4 of our people in Anambra. Hausa community cries out. And another caption says that Yul Edochie seemingly towing the path of Ned Woke. Yul Edochie seemingly towing the path of Ned Woke. So, Cosmos, let's look at the issue of police arresting the PDP House of Rep member Farah Dagogo on the orders of the Rivers State Governor yesterday. The governor had accused him of disrupting the APC primaries, and he ordered for his arrest. And yesterday the man was arrested. Tongues are wagging, people are talking. You know, some are beginning to express fears over the call for state police, saying that if eventually we have state police with what happened in Rivers State, that governors are going to abuse that opportunity. What do you make of that?
You see, most times Wike's actions and inactions sometimes tend to portray this, will I say, tout-like approach in leadership. In his comments, in his approach of speech, in his actions, the way he talks, the way he addresses people, is so embarrassing most times, and that is why people like us are also agitating that we don't need that state policing. Hence, the system of governance in Nigeria is like centered on the governors, so they will abuse it if that state policing is finally coming to bear. So people like Wike, maybe sometimes their actions, I don't know what motivates it. Some time ago, we heard him speaking about the Igbos. He's not an Igbo man. He don't have anything to do with Igbo people. All of a sudden now, he has changed again. He's now an Igbo man. So Wike is used in making comments that are exciting. So his actions, I don't know, probably he may have used another approach, probably inviting the young man, not to say arresting. But when you say you are arresting an aspirant who is probably campaigning or in a time of election like this, a member of the federal government, you are trying to send the wrong message signal to the people. So that is to say that he has planned out what he wants to do, probably targeting that aspirant on such a day like that.
Yeah. Okay, we also had the case of gunmen killed 4 of our people in Anambra. The Hausa community cries out. The other day we had that the cattle breeders were attacked, kidnapped, and then their cows, about 300, was rustled. But finally, we learned they were, released. They saw them in the forest and some of their cows and all that. And so many people are saying a lot of things that do the Southeasterners have the capacity of rustling about 300 cows, and they're saying if such thing happened, it must have been people who are also used to, rearing cow and all that. What do you make of it?
Well, I think killing is no longer news in Nigeria now, not just about the Southeast. But one thing is certain, that the Southeast has made their position known, that they don't want this cattle rearing, probably along the open grazing, along the Southeast borders. So, but I feel if the people who are in this business, probably if they mean well for this country, if they mean well for the Southeast, they should be able to know this is not our pattern, it's not our trend. They should be able to get their cattle in a particular place, probably graze them in a barn or in ranching. And that people in advanced countries, they have been doing that. And they are producing even more meat more than what we are producing here. So I don't see the reason why in this modern age, in this time, that people are still roaming around with cattle around the streets. The last 2 weeks I was in Abuja, I saw the same thing in the streets of Abuja. So so it's not, that is to say that Nigeria, we are not developing in any area. So that, I think they didn't do well, probably in killing them, but maybe they would have used another approach. So I don't know.
The News Echo, that's the story we have in the News Echo this morning. Let's look at another state paper here. We have a Deep newspaper. Deep newspaper. And Deep newspaper has a big caption: OCDA seals collapsed building as man, wife, others escape death. OCDA seals collapsed building as wife, 6 others escape death. Armed robbers attack bullion van in Imo. Armed robbers attack bullion van in Imo. Another one says 2023, Masob warns Southeast politicians against sabotage. 2023, Masob warns Southeast politicians against sabotage. Another caption here has at least 7,000 Imo residents won't collect PVC. INEC. 7,000 Imo residents won't collect PVC. INEC. Uzodinma urges core members to desist from violent crimes. Uzodinma urges core members to desist from violent crimes. Confusion over Yul Edochie marital status. Confusion over Yul Edochie marital status. Let's start with the OCDA story. We learned that another building collapsed in Owerri. Some time ago, not quite long ago, we had a building that collapsed and lots of people died inside. And now another building has collapsed. Luckily, the occupants were able to escape. What does it make of our building laws in the state? Is it being enforced? And if it's being enforced, the OCDA that has this duty, are they living up to their expectations? Are they being only reactionary than being proactive?
No, I think the OCDA, they are not structured. Maybe they are not the engineers that oversee, that had the oversight function on that building. But what they did is the best thing to do. But another thing is that we find out that there is this structural problem in the engineering sector, that probably people tend to go into construction, into some certain building, high-rise buildings, without really doing the needful, as in trying to know what materials will be used. And another challenge we are having now, the type of materials we are having in the market. The sun is also responsible for part of the things that are happening, because they are not really doing their job. There is a lot of substandard products in the market today. Both the cements that we are using, both the rust that we are using, even the nails. There are sometimes you get 9 inches nail to knock on the wall, you see 9 inches breaking, concrete breaking. So there is a lot of structural problem in the Nigerian state. So I think the sun should rise up to their responsibility and begin to look into some of these things, factories that produce some of these things, and do the needful.
Okay. Well, there's a controversy surrounding Yul Edochie over his marital status. That's trending now. He has, I don't know if he has formalized his relationship or his affair with his side chick, as some people will say. It's raising a lot of dust. Now, the father has spoken about it. The brother has also spoken and denied going with him to pay the bride price and all that. But in the general context, some people are saying there's nothing wrong in that. That in the Igbo culture, that the man can marry. After all, the Oba of Benin, the Alaafin of Oyo, who just died, has 18 wives.
And left many.
Yeah. So, I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, it's his personal life. If he chooses to marry 10 or 20, it's his personal life. So when I see some of this news, is it because he's Yul Edochie? Many people are doing that on a daily basis.
He's an actor, he's a role model, he's at the stage. So people are bound to emulate him.
That does not mean that he should not exercise his own rights. So it's his right in whatever way he wants to live his life. If he chooses to marry 3, 10, 20, nobody will stop him. If not even the father can stop him. But the only thing is just that when you say is relative. Do you understand? He can also motivate people to marry 2. He can also motivate people to marry 10. He can also choose like the father who decided to marry 1. So when it comes to this news, I don't see it as a news. People try to make something out of nothing because it's his life.
All right, that's the Deep News newspaper. All right, let's look at the news break. Is it today's edition?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the news break newspaper, and the screaming headline here says 2023 groups endorse Ngoforo for Imo Assembly seat. Okay, Imo North, I'll be senator for all, says Ararume, Palace Okigwe Youth, Okigwe South PDP leaders. Okay. Okere picks nomination form for House of Rep seats. Kem the Opera joins race for Imo East Senate, promises effective representation. Accord vows to take over Imo. Assembly seat, youths beg Uzodimma to urge MLA to contest. Oh, Nwajoba's bid gives boost to president of Igbo extraction. Poly-naked lecturer inflicts blindness on estranged wife. Okay, gunmen attack bullion van in Imo. All right, this story of gunmen attacking bullion van in Imo has reoccurred. It has appeared in several papers. Yeah. So, what does that also? What signal does it give about security situation in Imo?
Yeah, the security situation in Imo, like everybody knows, whether in or outside Imo State, know that is alarming. And the challenges is what government has not really been able to get to the root and find out what are the challenges, what are the problems, why are these things happening, why are there so much blood here and there, killing here and there, insecurity here and there. Do you understand? So if the government are able to address some of these things, I think the crime rate will reduce. But everywhere in the world, there are crimes, there are issues, there are challenges, there are criminalities. Do you understand? So but we keep believing and asking God to keep saving us every day. Even while we are standing here, we are not safe. Do you understand? So the challenges is so enormous that government should also help put in the necessary machineries in place to checkmate some of these things. So for bullion van moving, they should be able to know the security situation, know how they move, know the security backup, the number of security backup they will need at that particular time. So I think it's quite unfortunate.
Okay, that's
life was lost.
Yeah, that's the national news break this morning. Okay, let's see if we can take another state paper. Which one is that? The white paper. Okay, the white paper. That's the white paper, and it has a big bold line here. It says, "I am going to be senator for all," Ararume Jr. assures as he meets with Okigwe South PDP leaders. "I am going to be senator for all," Ararume Jr. assures. 2023, Uchewosu berates with certain politicians not supporting. Okay, Uchewosu berates with certain. Maybe berates certain politicians who are not supporting Igbo presidency. Uchewosu berates southern politicians not supporting Igbo presidency. Jonathan's constitution shatters. Nation's constitution shatters Jonathan's 2023 presidential ambition. Nation's constitution shatters Jonathan's 2023 presidential ambition. Court adjourns Nnamdi Kanu's suit against federal government to May 12. Abe's explosion. Minister charges security agents to crack down on illegal oil sites. Let's look at Uchewosu taking a swipe on politicians he accused of not supporting the Igbo presidency. Some may say, is it because he's so close to one of the Igbo presidential aspirants in the person of his in-law, Rochas Okorocha? Could that be the reason why he's taking this stand? Or can it be born out of pan-Igbo patriotism?
Well, whatever reasons why he's taking that stand is okay. Whether because of his in-law or because the Igbos, the Southeast, are now agitating that the presidency should come to them. But whatever reasons Uche Nwosu had made that statement, he is right. Because we believe every Igbo man, even Nigerians, they have all come and say, this presidency now should come to the South, narrow down to the Southeast. But the challenge we are having, the Southeast, how prepared are we? Even among the South, you still see that most of our people, they cannot even come to round table and discuss. And so, okay, let us support. And nobody wants to support anybody. Everybody wants to be president at the same time. And that is a challenge. So they are going to use divide and rule to also take this presidency away from the Southeast. Oh, look at what the government has done. They said, okay, now that it's supposed to be the South, they now say South. So they are now taking the entire South. So the West is South, Southwest, Southeast, South, South. That is why you see people like Wike, Amamechi, and all Tinubu, them are all running out. But the presidency now, everybody know, every right-thinking Igbo man, politician, should tend towards the Southeast producing the president. And that is why even ABGA, as a party, has to produce somebody for presidency. So,
all right, let's. That's what we have in the white paper. Let's. I think I will look at the news points. Okay, this news points is today's edition of news points. That's the news point paper, and we have 2023 Owerri Senate Group X-rays APC aspirants profile in Imo. 2023. Owerri Senate Group X-rays APC aspirants profile in Imo. With a rider here narrows down to Jerry Chukwueke, says he is asset to zone. Okay. Imo government faults MBS on foreign investment report, the National Board of Statistics. Imo government faults MBS on foreign investment reports. Okoko family condones Madoka over wife's demise. Opera declares for Senate, promises effective representation. Wachugu tackles Haritex Mbata over Owerri East Development Center appointments. Okay, let's look at this story on page 13. The story about the National Board of Statistics report on foreign investment in Imo. Page okay, it says following a recent report by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) on the latest Nigerian capital importation for 2021, that the value of capital importation into Nigeria fell by 30.78% to $6.7 billion in 2021 from $9.68 billion in 2022, and stated how the 36 states of the Federation failed, pitching Imo State among the states that their foreign investment dropped, or states which failed to attract foreign investment during the year. The Imo State Commissioner for Budget, Economic Planning and Statistics, Dr. Sisi Oswala, has come out to fault it, saying that the report was not properly done. Is it a case of choosing which to accept and which to reject? The National Bureau for Statistics says foreign direct investment into Imo State has fallen, and the government is disputing that claim. What do you make of it?
The government have right to dispute any claim, but we all know that it's true. No foreign investor can come and invest in a state like Imo, with the security challenges in Imo, with the troubles here and that, with the uncertainty, with the mistrust with the governor, with the present governor. No foreign investor will come and put his money in Imo State. So when they try to deny, what are you denying? Are you denying there are no killings in Olu area? Are you denying that Imo is safe? That even though that we are filled with uncertainties? Are you denying that things are not really going well? Are you denying that what do I call it? Look, even the bullion van snatching yesterday. Do you understand? So you see that there are a lot between security agencies and here and there. So there is so much problem that if no foreign investor, no same foreign investor will invest a dime in a state like Imo for now. And the most important thing, whenever we are living our life, we should always live our life to be a security to people maybe behind us. Look at somebody like Soludo. You will see the type of foreign investor that will be attracted in Anambra State. Why? Because Soludo as a person is a guarantee. But in Imo State, do we feel safe about the governor? Every Imo man feels so apprehensive when the governor even makes statements. We don't tend to believe him, no matter how we want to hide it, no matter how we want to look at it. So there's this mistrust between the governor and the Imo people and also the investors.
All right, let's look at our national papers now. Let's look at some national papers. Let's start with the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun newspaper. That's the Daily Sun newspaper. And the bold caption here says, 2023, Masob wants Igbo leaders, governors over Southeast presidency. Says Igbo won't tolerate sabotage. Masob wants Igbo leaders, governors over Southeast presidency. Oba of Benin cautions politicians over unfulfilled promises. Oba of Benin cautions politicians over unfulfilled promises. Which other one? The Sun Award recognition of my modest achievements, Omahe. The Sun Award recognition of my modest achievements, Omahe. Tension mounts as PDP screens Atiku and him Obi, Wike, Udom, 12 other presidential aspirants. Tension mounts as PDP screens Atiku and him Obi, Wike, Udom, 12 other presidential aspirants. Okay. Insecurity threat to Nigeria's nationhood. Insecurity threat to Nigeria's nationhood. Bajabi Amela. Insecurity threat to Nigeria's nationhood. We lost 1,256 uncollected PVCs to government's attack in Imo, says INEC. We lost 1,256 uncollected PVCs to government attack in Imo, says INEC. Okay. Importers, agents lament as extortion takes center stage at reopened land borders. Importers, agents lament as extortion takes center stage at reopened land borders. Let's start with this. Caption, this heading. It says the federal government has just opened up, I think, about 4 new borders, and but businessmen are, complaining, lamenting that they're being extorted. While they bring in goods through those borders. So, what do you make of it? Is here a case of robbing Paul to pay Peter?
It's quite unfortunate the type of system we are operating in Nigeria. You see, when you go to some of these borders, you will pity some of our importers. The level of extortion by the custom agents and the other immigration officers, all the other paramilitaries along the road. Even sometimes they will even leave the borders and still meet you inside the market. You have moved their goods from the wharf. They will leave you there, or you will pass through the whole road, get to the market. They will still chase you to the market. So sometimes, you see, we don't have this system that is working. There should be a central system where when you have a goods or something, an agent can go to that place, pay off everything he needs to pay, and move his goods. If they are contraband, you hold such contrabands. But if they are goods that are acceptable in the country, we release them. Not extorting. And sometimes those things are not recorded. And Nigeria keeps losing millions and millions every day. So I don't know. That is the system we find ourselves.
Masob has warned Igbo leaders over Southeast presidency. He says they won't tolerate sabotage. We're still talking about Igbo presidency.
That is what I have said before. You see, they will still use some of our people as a divide and rule method. You see, but for now, I think if the Igbos will unite and say, okay, let some of us drop our ambition. Let us gather and rally around somebody. Is it P2B? Is it Anyem? Is he whoever? Is it this Obama? What's his name? And we rally around him. And say, okay, let's support him. I think it's achievable. But the funny thing that will happen, very soon it will begin to play out. They will pitch our people with ourselves. So that is what the Masob is wanting. And people are not ready to take that because enough is enough.
All right, enough is enough. Let's go to another paper here, The Nation. The Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper, today's edition. And the big caption here says, Buhari to court. Buhari to court. Electoral Act 8212 unconstitutional. Buhari to court. Electoral Act 8212 unconstitutional. Another one here says, Okowa not in race for Senate, says 8. Okowa not in race for Senate, says 8. 30 Rivers indigents among victims of Imo illegal bunkering fire. 30 Rivers indigents among victims of Imo illegal bunkering fire. Enugu to train 260 farmers in modern techniques. Enugu to train 260 farmers in modern techniques. Shutdown of 840 megawatts power plants to worsen outage. Shutdown of 840 megawatts power plants to worsen power outage. NEF chair urges parties to throw presidential tickets open. NEF chair urges parties to throw presidential tickets open. Declares power shift dead. Okay, that's Professor Ango Abdullahi there. PDP screens 47 aspirants for governors in Southeast, South-South. PDP screens 47 aspirants for governor in Southeast and South-South. Let's take the story of the fire incident, the Abaze fire incident. Reports are saying that about 30 people of the victims that died in that inferno were from River State. They crossed from River State to Imo State. I remember these people had been chased from River State to Imo State by Wike. Is it that they now left River State and came and settled in Imo for the business?
It is possible they are above 30. Because when this incident happened, I was discussing with somebody. I said, in this fire incident, don't be surprised that more than 70 might be from River State. Then police, civil defense, DSS, civil defense, DSS, police, and army, they will be part of the remaining. So when they investigate very well, you find out that there is no way this thing will happen. You won't see civil defense there. So either they are from River State or from here. But whatever be the case, it's quite unfortunate that this thing happened. That is the porous security situation we find ourselves in Imo. Everywhere is open, no security, no nothing. Do you understand? So people can come in and do a lot of illegal dealings in Imo State and leave. Nobody asks questions, nobody check them. So, well, it has happened the way it did happen, and they have paid the ultimate price.
Okay, that's the Nation newspaper. The New Telegraph is here. We have the New Telegraph newspaper is here. And the New Telegraph says, Jonathan better in 2015 if APC gives him 2023 tickets. Jonathan better in 2015 if APC gives him 2023 ticket. And who is saying this? Queries party's desperation to win presidency. I've built roads, second Naija bridge in Southeast despite poor pool. Results from the zone. Buhari tells court he didn't order Senate to remove section 8412 of Electoral Act. Okay, a party chieftain has I want to get the name of this party chieftain. A leader of the All Progressives Congress in Niger State, Comrade Jonathan Vassa, has said he will leave the ruling party and also quit politics if ex-president Jonathan is allowed to join the APC to contest the 2023 presidential election, as it means he was the better candidate in the 2015 presidential election. What do you make of this? Like how do they say it in Christian parlance that the rejected stone eventually became the cornerstone. Okay, Jonathan was condemned, criticized, called clueless and several other names, and kicked out of power. And unfortunately, surprisingly, the same party that kicked him out is now wooing him to come back again and become the president.
I think the chieftain's speech is very, very honorable. Should Jonathan accept that? Jonathan accepting APC presidency is a sabotage to the Southeast. It's a very big sabotage to the Southeast because they understand that when Jonathan comes in, he was only taking 4 years so that the power will now shift to the North. So it's a game plan, a game plan they have mastered. And Jonathan accepting is a sabotage. And I will call on all the Southeast politicians and people of the Southeast not to give him that support. Because we gave him maximum support during 2015 election, which he blew up the whole thing. So he cannot come back now and we say we are talking about Southeast president. They are now trying to parley with him to bring him up, throw him up again.
Femi Falana has also faulted his candidacy, saying that if he contests, it means if he wins, he's going to be sworn in 3 times as against the constitution, and he's going to stay more than 8 years in power.
So that is to tell you that people are watching, and everybody consciousness has woken up in Nigeria, because we understand the game and this is what they want to do. So Jonathan's name being thrown up for presidency or to hand him over the ticket of APC is a misnomer. We won't accept that. I will not take that in Nigeria.
Okay, let's hear him. Let's hear his own take on Jonathan bids to contest. APC calling Jonathan to come and contest. What do you make of it? A chieftain of the APC is threatening that if Jonathan comes, he's going to resign from the APC.
Actually, this is a clear case of a proverbial vulture whose carcass was used to administer drugs instead of eat meat. Imagine Jonathan, if Jonathan should adhere to what they are saying in this presidential, I think whatever legacy he has made will be terminated, and it will not be something to write home about. Then, when I saw the update this morning on my phone, I was like, why would this man come out for presidential election? If he should leave the position he's having now as a world-class position he has now, it's going to tarnish everything, whatever legacy he has laid. And for him to have left the seat of the presidency as of 2015 when he handed over to Muhammad Buhari, I think whatever he has done is rubbish. So there is no point for him going back. He shouldn't even think about it. Let him not think about it. I'm using this opportunity to call on all the politicians in Southeast. Let them come together. If it's one person that wants to run the presidential, let them give that person support and see what they can come up with, in saving Nigeria, if Nigeria must be saved. So thank you.
All right, IMF 6 end to subsidy for oil windfall benefits. IMF 6 end to subsidy for oil windfall benefits. Diversification key to Nigeria's growth. Do you agree with IMF? They've been calling for removal of subsidy.
Well, in Nigeria, I don't know if there is still subsidy, but unless the one IMF is doing. But if it's in the oil sector in Nigeria, when the government tell you that they are removing subsidies, what is the price? How much are they buying these products? What are they selling? How do we know there is subsidy? How do we know that subsidy has been removed? What is the price of crude oil in the market? Why would the price of finished product, a byproduct, be higher than the price of the crude oil? So these are questions to ask. So the issue in Nigeria is that we are in a banana country where a lot of things is just too bad that people don't understand really the dynamics of how some of these things work. Do you understand? So for IMF, I think doing that will also help the Nigerian economy, because it will make the government to begin to diversify into other sectors. After before the oil boom, Nigeria were into so many things: granite, beans, cocoa, this and that, timber. We had so many things going well for Nigeria. How come the oil that is supposed to be a blessing now has turned to be a curse, and all these other things flew away like the wind?
All right, you want to say something about oil subsidy? Do you think they should remove subsidy on petroleum?
Actually, there is need for it, because I don't see why there should be subsidy of this petroleum stuff, when the federal government will, whenever each station that comes, will always have a budget that they will bring out, and they will be calling a huge amount of money, and after that they will still go and borrow money from the IMF. They will still go and borrow money. Then after everything, then you find out that nothing is working. They will still, okay, the money they've taken, where are they going? Where are they putting it into? What are they coming, or what solution are they bringing out with the money they've borrowed and all that, and the money, subsidy money? If Nigeria is an oil-producing country, it's not supposed to be suffering this oil stuff, oil saga. Do you understand? So I think they should come to a table and see to this oil issue of a thing. Now look at they're talking about gold. They said they're making out gold. They're bringing out gold from that should be Zamfara State. And now the federal government is not putting eye into it. So that's the Zamfara government sees to that resources that comes out from their land, and they make it out and they make sales of it. They use it in making their this thing, gross domestic of something, gross domestic, yes, IGR. Then at the end of the day, it's become something that it's their private resources, and it's not a federal government this thing plan. So that's what I'm trying to say. Let them just try and see how they will look into all these states that are oil producing, and allow them to make their money and everything to be in their own pocket, and give federal government whatever they have to give.
Okay, that's the most we're going to take today, because if you look at the weather here, the weather has changed. It has become cloudy, and it does seem like the call of Major Fashek might come to play. So as I wrap up now, let me have my guest here, Mr. Cosmos Naklamba, have his parting word as we close shop.
Please, I'll call on the media houses. It's quite surprising that every day papers come out, nobody talk about the educational system in Nigeria. Students have been on strike over the months now. Nobody's talking anything about it. It's no longer in the news. So I think it is high time.
It was in the news yesterday because they accused the junior minister, Nwajuba, of buying tickets for 100 million when universities are on lock and key. And academic ASUP, the polytechnics, are also threatening that are going to go on strike.
Okay, that is very, very good. But that news should be coming up, because these children that is at home is not either good for the society nor the parents, the family where they are coming from. Because these are why some of them are being used on these insecurity situations you are hearing now. So they should try as much as they can to get them back to the classroom.
All right. And on that appeal by Mr. Cosmos, you have any appeal to make as you close? You have anything to say as you close? Okay.
You know, there is high cost of living every day. If you go to market, whatever you bought today at the cost of 50 naira, before you come to the market again, it will be 150. So I think there is need for a virtual amendment to everything that is going on in the market sector and all that. So I appeal to the federal government to see to whatever that is going on in this country, so that people will relax, have a relaxed mind, and then live as people who are living in their country.
Okay, so with that appeal to the federal government to ensure that the economy is stabilized and make living easy for Nigerians, we've come to the end of the program for today. We want to thank you for watching. We want to appreciate the vendor who gave us her stand for today's broadcast. Vendor,
Messi.
Talk like this so that the camera can get you.
Okay, Messi.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you done this business?
I've been in 10 years.
10 years now?
Yes, I've been doing vendor stand.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, we want to thank you once again for giving us your stand for today's program, and from time to time we'll also be coming to do it. All right. Okay, so dear viewer, we want to thank you for watching. We'll be back on Monday for another edition of the Vendor Corner. Until we come that time, I'm your host, Akobi Manase. Bye-bye.
Bye.